hear the voice of reason.
Welcome to another edition of Tell It How It Is. No filter. This is Voice of Reason, in case you did not know. And thanks for joining me. As always, don't tell me. I have a new device. And it's like, where the hell? I have to look for stuff sometimes. This shit is fancy. All right. Let's get right to it. How is everyone doing? How are y'all feeling out there? Almost the end of the first quarter. If you know anything about quarters, it's 4 quarters in a year, which makes every quarter how much? Do your math. But either way, we're approaching the end of the first quarter. And I know some of you are like, why does it feel like February 10th? Temperatures are rising, but the wind chill factor is still giving us that frigid feel. I'm no meteorologist, but I'm just saying, what up? I need some nice weather because Aries season is here. Usually that should mark the beginning of good weather. April showers bring May flowers and all that. But that about it for that. So let's just go right in. Again, make sure you hit the notification bell, like, comment, share, subscribe. Join me. You could be a guest. You could sit right there. Let us be great together. Let's try to make a change in this world for once. Make a stand. You know what I mean? Make everybody great. Make everybody mentally strong, mentally tough. You know, I ain't the financial advisor, so you're going to have to do what you have to do out there to grind and get $1. But I'm trying to get your mental right. In case you never knew what my purpose was. Get my mental right, get your mental right. 2 birds, 1 stone, or 30 birds, 1 stone. No matter how many people I reach, I always promote and advocate that. This is not clickbait. This is not for popularity. This is to say I gave my energy to society in a way that could benefit. You know, as man, you have to have a purpose. You have duties, responsibilities, and you're supposed to make your mark while you're here. I choose multiple avenues to try to do that, but this is just one of my many talents. Let's go.
Think what they say, or we leave them rotten stinking away. It's the bad guy message, cause didn't relay. Well, we didn't delay, we spit in the cane. Never fuck with the bad guy, the tip of the day. Tipping my hat to the gangsters that's like this, that always get away and be skipping indictments. You sure it's me that you wanna pick fights with? It'll get dark quick like you working the night shift. You ain't a bad guy, you acting like one. Say hello to my little friend, and I'm clapping for fun with the pistola.
A woman could customize a man, they would still be unhappy. So that's to think that you can have the perfect person. And that's on both sides, but we're going to just stick to this. You could think you know what you want. You could be damn close in making that assumption. And if you were to have the ability to customize and create this, you would be happy on the spot, 24 hours, a week, a month. But life is never going to be that simplistic and polished enough to remain one way, customized or not. So due to life's changes, situations, emotions, actions, mental state, this is a disaster waiting to happen. Challenge me. Ladies, customize your man. Write it down. Use the notes in your device. Let's see. What would be on that list? What would you put there? I'm curious. I really need a guess for this one. I want to know. Because no matter what is on that list, if you find a guy that checks off all of that list, at some point, you will still have complaints. Be unhappy, feel away. It just is. And you know what? I'm dragging it because it's simple as this. If you're emotional or sometimes can't control your emotions, get a cycle, get cramps, any other womanly experience that takes you off your norm, you're subject to a mood change. And that's just fucking it. You're a human being. Women are beautiful creatures. Not all creatures. Some are just beautiful. But you go through this one way or the other. It's called womanhood. And like I said, any other changes. And these will deter your mood. And you may not mean to. You may actually debate and argue me down that, so what if I have an off day, or so what if I'm not on the up and up? I still customize my man and I'm very happy. Every day ain't the same. You don't wake up the same. We happy we wake up. No doubt. But it's hard to pinpoint 2 days that I woke up the exact same. I just don't see it. So, and again, with all those examples I gave to what can alter your mood, an alter of the mood is just going to change shit. Like if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. There's nothing no one can do. You have to get yourself out of that. And I think that's the big thing here. That's why I try to throw the men in too, because if we in a funk as well, it's going to be hard to keep us happy, even if we customize our woman. Now, let me play devil's advocate. Whose job is easier? Who would have the easier exercise? So if a man had to customize his woman, that shit's simple. I'm sorry, ladies. You want me to do it for you? Based on said man's preference of look and shape, sexuality, nasty, real nasty, like overwhelmingly nasty. How many is that? Loyalty, trust, peace. Loyalty, trust, and peace with a dash of support. Man, we got to really just get to it. You know, we want our lady to support us, but we can't really put a lot of burden on them for a level of support to be at something crazy. Just as long as they don't stand in the way and they tell you, go ahead, do the damn thing. Loyalty, trust, peace. Nasty. Anyway, I can't do what a woman's list would look like customized. I'm gonna just leave y'all to that. I can entertain it some. Alpha. Financially free. A cute way of saying got bread. But I won't gold dig every chick and label them that. Every chick's not a gold digger and out for the bread. But you gotta have something going on, fellas. Ain't no brokies. You know what I mean? Security. You know, It's a lot of men that could pull it off. You know what I mean? Security wise, meaning you ain't got to all be muscular in the gym. You can not go to the gym at all. You know, certain height is intimidating. Certain weight is intimidating. But just know these are some of the things, guys. And just ask a lady friend. I really wouldn't go to the one you want in particular if you have not already obtained her. And maybe if you are already in a relationship, you can have this as an exercise amongst you guys. If you have a secure relationship, you can see, you know, if you check off these boxes, which leads me into my next one that like kind of goes hand in hand though. But closing out, ladies, if you customize your man, you will still be unhappy. Okay, fellas, find out if she has a type. I have a type. Bad is only like Ray Shrooman and them. Yo, they had a couple joints I really liked. But yeah. You women, I never liked this dialogue I'm about to present to you. If you don't have a type, I don't even know how to address you. I highly doubt that. But what I don't like is when a woman says, well, you know, I've been with this, and this, and it didn't work. So I'm trying a different approach. And when I say that with type. So like if they used to guys that are on the heavier side, the Rick Rosses, right? Beards, baldies. Let's just get specific. And those, you know, they had a couple of those that didn't work. So now they're like, all right, they're not looking for outside the type, but if like a guy try to holler and he's light skinned, no beard, maybe a goatee, and he got like, let's say he got waves, she'll be like, well, it's not the usual, but let's give it a shot. And you know, there's some positive, organic, good women that when they have an open mind like that, it can go good. You know what I mean? But my point is with this, I guess this is more, let's just get more in depth here. Scammers, bad boys, street guys, and I don't have nothing against like do what you do. I'm just saying like if those is who they were mostly with, you clean white blue collar cat, you coming in at a deficit. I'm just saying, could it work? Maybe. You coming in at a deficit. Will she be honest about her type? Will she be honest about having a type? She's going to try to give you the focused, polished version of herself and say, at this stage of my life, oh man, I just want you fill out the rest. That's why I stay quiet. Because it's cap a lot of the times. They feel defeated in the moment or they're trying to impress you. So they want to make it look like it's that simple. I just want. Sorry, ladies. It's never I just want. Almost never. Yikes. We wish it was that easy. You fellas, you gotta just be the shit. I'm sorry. It's not something that can be taught. It's not something I can really walk you through like all around the board to be undeniable. You can get some knowledge and input and research on things you need to do to step your shit up. But to have that you either got it or you don't. I don't want to be braggadocious, but you got to be coming in the door like that. And then you kind of force their hand. And that's sad in a way, but the game is the game. You could take over immediately if you got it going on like that. So from those lens, you could hang back on this, but I still would inquire, even with someone as super confident as myself. You know, I'm just saying. I would still want to know. Common knowledge is dope. Communication is dope. Asking all the right questions is dope. You need to learn this stuff to engage accordingly and see that there's real potential here. People just be winging it. It's a lot. I like wingettes, but I don't be winging it. You feel me? You need to really tap in with what you're dealing with in front of you. That's all I'm saying. All right, find out if she has the type, fellas. Mentally, I can't afford to care like I used to. Ladies, take it easy on us. I will give flowers to women because I feel like if they make this comment, they cared a lot more in a lot more scenarios than we did. If they're being truthful, women win this stat, I believe. I believe like if they mentally care for the dudes they fucked with and it didn't work, I feel like their numbers are taller. Men, we more anal about this because we don't care. I'm damn near. Now all I am. For those who know, you know. If you don't, well, let's just say black doesn't crack. And I'm gonna continue to make sure my health is wealth. But I could have cared twice and still make this statement. Because with men, we all know, I've said it in other segments, I've said this off cam. Men are sensitive, man. I'm sorry, guys, all of us. If we are straight up and 100 and it go left, we butt hurt for a minute. And even if we shake off the butt hurt part, we not diving back in like that. Remember I said, be a good guy twice in a row? 3 times? Anyway, so this statement is across the genders. You just have to put some type of protection on your feelings and your sensitivity and your heart and all of that. So, you know, crazy comparison, crazy analogy, but it's like, you know, you was paying a car note, so you had full coverage on your car, right? So now you don't have the car note no more, so you got liability. What is liability? The bare minimum, right? They're not really protecting shit if it go left. So the stronger people out there get you liability, and the sensitive gonna need full coverage. But I don't see anyone out there with no insurance, if you get what I'm saying. So get you something to look out. Because the harder it is to repair mentally from that, when you don't have no protection at all, if God forbid it goes left. It's beautiful to think you can find forever or for the rest of your life, but it's naive to think that shit can't end. I know what you put in the air. I know. Stay positive, higher powers and all that. You get what you deserve. Fight for what you want. If you keep it tall, you live a just life. I'm not saying to put that it won't work out in the air at all. I know what you speak, you might get. So I'm saying it courageously for all of us to just keep that in the back. That could be last. You know, if you have an A to Z file, it could be Z. I'm not telling you to give that energy or push it to the forefront. I'm just saying to go back to the whole protecting, having liability. If you could really just be all the way positive and think things are going to last forever that you deal in and involve yourself in, then you don't need liability. But if I'm telling you that at the minimum have liability protection, that means there's a possibility. And it don't always got to be toxic, messy, like tough. You know, if mature people could just say, look, it didn't work out. It still came to an end. You know, you want to sit there and really dwell on how it ended. If it ain't work, it ain't work. And I'm just saying you should keep a piece of that in the back. So if it doesn't work, you don't lose your whole shit over it. I mean, unless you got a better strategy is all I'm saying. I'm giving a strategy that I'm familiar with. You know, if you could find something else or another way, I just want you to dodge that real harsh hurting that happens when shit goes left if you wasn't prepared or if you thought that shit was forever. That's all I'm saying. How much time do you give someone who isn't ready for a relationship? Who do you think this is more targeted? Do men rush for relationships? Like if the female doesn't want it? That's rare. I'm not saying it don't happen. You want me to be real? He just want that pussy to be his. So listen, it's not for sensitive ears, and no, it's not made for kids. As far as aggressively rushing, if he's like, yo, what's up? He could organically want the relationship, yes. That's in there. But what else is in there is he wants that pussy to be his. You wanted me to water that down? I can't. But let's go back. I'm gonna leave that right there. Ladies, I said this too. If he ain't ready, he ain't ready. To have an actual timestamp for this is crazy for me because it depends on individuals and so many other factors. I'm gonna take something from someone that gave me sort of a rough draft. So if you're talking engaging regularly, meaning like there's daily contact of some sort, 3 months minimum. You have some ladies that'd be like, that's a long time, right? It's so different amongst different individuals. What can I really give you here? That 3 month minimum could be somebody else's maximum. Like if you don't tell me in 3 months what it is, it's over. Some may want it before then. I'm going to play this fair game and say 3 months. 3 months. Give 3 months. Both. Give 3 months. See what it is. To me, the factors that gotta play to make this jump before 3 months, or even sometimes 3 months too soon. So now I can try to give you the Dragon It version. All right. A guy doesn't need a year. I mean, he may need a year to do certain considerations like moving in. And I'm not saying that's what you're saying, ladies. But like some real major power moves, yeah. But to decide if he want to be your man, you his lady, he don't need nobody to the year. Nope, nobody. Unless he just came out of some real shit. Again, this is what makes this based on individuals. I'm talking about a clear-headed, normal functioning guy. That's most of his demons is out of him. Most of his hurt is out of him. You know, he's over whatever bugged him, whatever triggered him. He's past that. So he's considered healthy. That guy does not need a year. I would almost debate that he don't need 6 months. Can I say that 6 months can be used? It's pushing it. I don't, that's one hell of a lady that's patient. Remember, I'm just talking about solidifying the title. I'm not saying what moves y'all make. I'm just saying to say, this is my man, this is my lady. A year is too much. 6 months is pushing. 3 months should be, give or take, the playing field. Can be less. Shout out who threw that rough draft at me for the numbers. No doubt. What did I say? Factors that matter. Completely normal, healthy, functioning guy. Again, ladies, I don't see no man pressing you like this. Something may be wrong. Or he he want that for JJ to be his. He said, I ain't gonna keep saying, you know, the filthy McNasty on you, but just understand where a guy's his head is at sometimes, or where he wanted to be, should I say. Pause. All right. When a woman is dealing with more than one man, she is mean to the one she is lying to. Oh man, the game is vicious. The game is vicious. Ooh, they play all day. So much for if she got something going on, you'll never find out. Women are the experts at entertaining and doing things outside of their situation, whether they feel is justified or not. It's real hard to catch them in anything. Men are dogs, women are cats. A man has to go outside his masculine, confident self and do feminine type of things to catch a woman sometimes. But it's crazy. So, here go a cheat code, fellas. If your lady is being mean to you, out of nowhere, or tries to make it calculated, but it's just on demon time for real with the interaction, that is a clue. Do you jump the gun on every mood like that? No, because again, women have mood swings, they're monthly, they womanhood, etc. So you got to be able to know to tell the difference and know your partner. But we just saying that is definitely one of those indicators if some fuckery is going on. So peep her mean level scale. If it just seems she too on edge and anxiety, crazy, everything you do pissing her off, or she's just being real verbally Ken and Ryu. Yo, get. She doing the yo, get. Shit crazy. So there's not much I could give you there because now you'll have to now investigate and do all this shit to find out if that's really why. You might can have a convo and talk her out that mode, even though the shit's still going on. It's crazy. This is why you gotta have at least liability, fellas. And the debate would be for decades and damn near centuries. But some women will just say, yo, you did this. You know, if I'm not happy, if you're not doing what you're supposed to, I'm going to entertain. It's vicious. It's vicious like that. They really try to justify that. But then, you know, we get dealt a bad hand because when we feel that same way, they telling us to just end the relationship. Why play? But do they just end the relationship? Sometimes they do. It's just period. We'll never understand each other fully and we'll never move a mirror of each other either. It will never look the same. It shouldn't. The way a man moves, the way a woman moves, the way we view things, the way they view things. There's just no matter how much you put a man and a woman together, they might be that deal. You know, they may be a nice match. It's just certain shit that's just, it's never going to equal. But that's not to discourage you. But that hit for real on that one. Being mean to the one she lying to. We getting a migraine and shit like, yo, what the fuck I done did? Nothing. That's crazy. Y'all watch your back out here. Liability. That might be the name of this. Anyway, let me close out with a fine line with who meets your special person. No rush or force. Family, friends, people you co-sign. It could be a one-track mind thing. You know, they got your back safety-wise, in sickness and health, maybe financially. I'm being super positive here that the people you surround yourself with can at least, fill these shoes. But that happiness thing, you kind of got to really know your family and friends and pay attention to the stories you hear and are told. Because I'm sorry, if they are not happy, I wouldn't bring the special person around. Like forcefully, like if you know you going to check a family member, or you know you going somewhere and you freestyle and say you bring your person with you, I don't know about that. Only bring them to organic places where you think you can vouch that where you're going is positive energy at its highest or majority. Yo, if every convo or most of the convos you have with friend, family, etc., got some toxic, unsettling complaint, all you know the convos that your peoples hit you up with to tell you about. I wouldn't bring nothing special you got going on around that. And the people don't even gotta be intentional and upfront jealous or mad at the fact that you got something going on. It just happens that way. It's just, what the hell is going to happen when you mix water and oil, hot and cold water? Like, even if it ain't meant to, it's what it is. So that's your business. Now, holidays come and go based on how you celebrate and do that. So I wouldn't let multiple holidays pass and you still keeping it, you know what I mean? But to make sure, like to pop up randomly, I don't know. I think you need to enjoy your victory to your dolly. Well, privately to you and your person. And I'm not saying y'all go out. So it's not really private. I mean, you're not a celebrity. So if you go out, y'all could go out every weekend and nobody met them. No family, nobody met them. There's nothing wrong there because y'all enjoying yourself and each other. You know what I mean? I say just keep doing that. And if somebody meets whoever, like I said, let that happen organically. So you can't control if somebody pop up on you or you with your person. You know what I mean? Or maybe phone wise, they call while you with your person. But that, let me go show, like there's a thing about bragging, you know what I mean? It kind of is at a disadvantage. And you're not bragging to be hurtful or show off per se, because it's not like, okay, if you working out and your family or friends ain't seen you in a while and you pop up on them in a medium just to show, your cuts and your gains, that's a bit much. You know what I mean? But that's not as harmful, as a person. You bringing somebody that, wow, and whatever time frame that this has been going on, you feel really good about it. You know what I mean? And then there goes the judgment already, because if a certain amount of time hasn't passed, or they think your family, friends, etc., think they know your window and who you was dealing with, like if they think they know all of that, and then you pop up with brand new special person, that's going to get criticized. That's the whole point of this. And I'm leaving. That's what it is, to find fault, to find criticism, because there's plenty in their shit. So if they got plenty of criticism and plenty of shit to find fault over in their own life, they need to find at least one with yours, or it's unsettling. They gotta. It's like their life's purpose. When they got multiple fucked up shit about them, they gotta find the one that you got. Instead of fixing it or trying to fix all they fucked up shit, they're gonna try to create one for you. Yeah. Keep your special person safe, please. You enjoy that. Sometimes it's not for everybody to enjoy what you're enjoying. You would like to spread good energy. Go look what I got. You can have this too. Or let me show you how two special people that's into each other interact, and maybe you could take notes. You might have good intentions there. But the devil is always busy, and sometimes that's not needed. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. So enjoy what you can enjoy. Keep close. Those special people, special items, special things. You can exercise this in all things. You know, the less people involved sometimes is the better. You know, so it can really ride its organic course. All right? So till the next time, you know my 3 P's. Stay positive, stay progressive, and stay pushing. Peace.